Sherry at Design a la Mode in Suamico. Well, today's show is all about making your life a little bit better. Do you or do maybe your kids suffer from anxiety? A little anxiety is normal, but a lot of anxiety is not. And Ken Horn, a psychotherapist from Child and Family Consultants, joined us this morning, and we're talking about anxiety. Good morning, Ken. Good to see you.
Good morning, Amy. Glad to be here.
Oh, glad to have you. First of all, a little anxiety. Why is that a good thing? Let's talk a little bit about that. You know, somebody's kid studying for a test or giving a speech, that little bit of anxiety.
Oh, well, it causes you to want to practice so that you don't embarrass yourself and you can avoid that kind of anxiety.
Get you ready for, you know, some of the stresses that you're going to have in later in life. That's, you know, before a presentation and things like that. That's natural. Right. Same for adults. You know, maybe you're anxious about going on a trip. You're packing. You're, you know, a little anxious.
That's good anxiety because it causes you to make that list, start packing ahead of time so that you can avoid that last-minute anxiety of what did I forget?
Right. What about bad anxiety and that panic that, you know, what is it? How do you know that you may need some help?
It's that panic, Amy, that generally brings people in for help. Panic being that impending sense of doom, that something bad is really going to happen, or I'm having a heart attack. And maybe they switch to shallow breathing and they feel like there's a tightness in their chest and it's just real nasty, and that's about the time people say, I think I might have something here that I want to treat. Something
more than the normal stuff. You know, some of the symptoms, you know, choking, sweating, you mentioned chest pain, stomach problems. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of kids suffer with that in the morning, you know, and that's, you know, not always a normal thing.
Right. A lot of children don't want to leave their mothers. They have a touch of that separation anxiety. They'll find reasons to not want to go to school, and they'll complain of a stomach ache, and it may be legitimate. All those chemicals could be pouring in there. They're nervous about going to school, and they'll try and find a way to stay home.
Let's talk specifically about kids and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And what are some of the signs parents should be looking for?
Children then ask a lot of questions repeatedly because they want to have their fears soothed a little bit. Children that have difficulty, they worry about themselves, they worry about others. Like you might hear them say, don't go to work today, Dad, I'm afraid something's going to happen to you.
That kind of thing. Students, what about people worrying about school and teachers and their assignments, and they're taking it way too seriously?
And the weather, maybe we should go inside. There's dark clouds forming, storms coming, let's get inside before something happens. Far beyond just caution.
So what do you do in a case like that? How can you help?
Well, the primary way that we help children with these kinds of anxieties is through talk therapy. And if they have anxiety at such a level that school is becoming concerned because they're not making it there enough, they may need to talk to a physician about the possibility of a medication to help with that.
And do some of those medications, I mean, have you seen some just, you know, amazing results?
They work really well.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. And it's all for short-term use.
Right. I think that though life is so crazy busy, we're all so busy these days that it's so important to pay attention to those little things, those little feelings, those little, you know, don't let them go by.
Well, to be an anxious child is very uncomfortable. And usually it's not just they're afraid of one or two things like spiders or the dark, it's many things.
But if you catch it early.
I see lots of children in my practice that are under the age of 7 for this kind of thing.
And you can help them and you know, get them where they need to be.
Oh, and it doesn't take long.
Yeah, so adults or kids, pay attention to those signs for sure. It's no fun living with that anxiety, and there is help out there. Ken Horn, appreciate it. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you, Amy.
Coming up next, we're headed back to the kitchen with Chef Ulrich, and we're making some gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches. Wait till you see what we're doing on